This is a video to help you solve a proportion by fraction busting. What I mean by fraction busting is that I'm going to multiply both sides of the proportion by each of the denominators of the proportion. Let me show you what I mean in my examples. My first example is 4 divided by 15 is equal to 10 over x. The way I'm going to solve this proportion is I'm going to multiply both sides of the proportion by each of the denominators. In this problem, my denominators are 15 and x. So let's eliminate the x on the right ratio in the denominator by multiplying by x over 1. But if I multiply the right side by x over 1, to keep the equation balanced, I need to multiply the left side by x over 1. Watch what happens on the right side of this equation. I have an x in the numerator and an x in the denominator. Those two, since I'm multiplying, are just going to cancel each other out. So what I'm going to be left with is 10 in the numerator and 1 in the denominator, which is just going to be 10. On the other side of the proportion, I have x times 4 in the numerator and 1 times 15 in the denominator. If I multiply those out together, that's just going to be equal to 4x divided by 15. So far, I've eliminated the x in the denominator of the right side of the proportion. Now I've got to eliminate the 15 in the denominator on the left side of the proportion. The way I do that is by multiplying both sides of the equation by 15, or 15 over 1. So if I multiply the left side of the equation by 15 over 1, and the right side of the equation by 15 over 1, on the right side I have 10 times 15 divided by 1, which is just going to be 150. And on the other side, the left side of the equation, notice how I have a 15 in the numerator and a 15 in the denominator. Those two 15s are just going to reduce or cancel each other out. Whoops, there we go. That's just going to cancel each other out. So I'm just going to be left with 4x divided by 1, which is the same thing as 4x. So now I have 4x is equal to 150. Now I just have a two-step equation, or in this case a one-step equation, and I can solve 4x is equal to 150 by dividing both sides of the equation by 4. 4x divided by 4 is just going to be x, and that's going to be equal to 150 divided by 4, which is equal to 37.5. Let's try the next one. On the next problem, I have an x divided by 16 is equal to 45 over 60. Since I already have an x in the numerator in this problem, I'm going to get rid of the 16 in this denominator by multiplying by 16 over 1. But if I multiply the right side of the proportion by 16 over 1, I've got to also multiply the left side of the equation or proportion by 16 over 1. Notice on the left side, my 16 in the denominator and my 16 in the numerator are going to cancel each other out, and I'm just going to be left with x on the right side, and that's going to be equal to 16 times 45 divided by 1 times 60, which is 720 divided by 60. So I know x is equal to 720 divided by 60, so then I just go into my calculator and take 720 and divided by 60, and I get an answer of 12.